Good morning, everyone. I'm coming to you from my crop room this Wednesday, gloomy day again. I'm tired of all the gloom. Wish we'd get some sunshine, even though if it's cold, the sunshine feels nice to look at outside. However, I hope you all had a great holiday, and I would like to thank some people who have decided to become my VIP club, and that would be Donna and Hillary and Kathleen and Kathy, Kim, Mary Ellen, Priscilla, and Sherry. Thank you so much for becoming a VIP. I think you're going to enjoy the program as we get going with it, even though we would rather meet in person. It's safe right now to do remote, unfortunately. But when we can meet in person, it's still going to be just as much fun because we can share what paper pack we're going to use that month and how we turn the page map into our own layout. You can always copy mine, no problem. I will give you all the dimensions in an email with the link for this video, and every month you'll have a new thing to create for yourself. A new two-page layout and a new card. And the cards you probably could recreate in different paper packs, like do a whole set of note cards for someone or a whole set of cards as a gift. They'll work that way, so you could make more than one of the same pattern and no one would, they're all going to look different. So I hope you enjoy my new idea, and without further ado, I'm going to share with you this first page map. I'm going to put the camera down. That will help right here. So here is my page map. So you can see here is the left side. It's a circle with 4x6 photos with a border, and I did not use a border on mine. You'll see when I show you the layout. But I didn't use the border, but I did use the butterflies, and I used the butterflies for from the You Are Enough paper pack. This set, I used the butterfly here from that. For my card, I used this Dandelion Wishes. I used this Dottie embossing folder, but you can use any embossing folder. I used Carolina ink and Sapphire ink because they went with the card that I was making with the paper pack. So you'll want to have the inks that go with your paper pack also. Anyway, so those were the things I used, along with Sapphire glitter paper, Carolina pattern, or that regular paper, solid cardstock. I used a sheet of that, and that's pretty much it. Other than the sheet I got, I used stickers. So the rest was all stickers and PML cards, so we're all good with that. So on my first page here, you can see I've used an 8-inch circle, and on the second page, I've used a 5-inch circle. A couple of ways of doing that. Of course, I did it on my digital cutter, so it was easy to do. But if you don't have a digital cutter, an easy way is to take a compass and just draw a circle on the back side of the paper so you don't get your pencil marks on this side, or use a pen or whatever you can fit in your compass, and then just cut it out by hand or find something that's round. These circles here are from your sticker sheet, so those are all set if you have the sticker sheet. And then this is a PML card. So if you have a sticker sheet, you can use your sticker sheet for the other circles. I just thought it was a fun way to use something different and on our layouts, and this was kind of a circular kind of paper, so I thought the circles worked well. But if you don't use this paper and you want to use snowflakes, that would work equally as well. Just an idea. Or hearts, anything that would have, you know, that simple kind of pattern that you could just replace what I've done with those things. It's like I said, it could be flowers, it could be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be circles. So if you wanted to recreate this layout, you could do it with those things. So if you wanted a Valentine's, or you wanted a summer garden picture, or you wanted to use I don't know what else you could use. You could use squares, I suppose, too. I don't know that I would like squares. It would be too blocky for me. But I liked how the circles worked on this because it went well with this paper. So without further ado, I will tell you how to recreate this page right here. See if I can put that down a little more so you can see better. There we go. That's better. All right. So for the Carolina piece, I cut the bigger one at, let's see here what I cut it at. I marked it here somewhere, I thought. 9 by 10. This one is 9 by 10. And the 9-inch way, this is the 10-inch way. So the 10 inch is this. So you're going to take an inch off, 2 inches off the bottom, and then you're going to cut your paper at 9 inches. And I used a corner rounder to round my corners, just on the one side. I didn't do it on this side. because that will match up kind of to this side. Because then I used my other, no, I did a 3-inch piece here by 10 inches this way, and rounded the corners again there. So then I cut my circle and I edged it. I used a little bit of a sponge and did the edges with the sapphire ink here. I'm going to have help helping me. I don't need you right here right now because you're going to make me nuts. Get down. So I put my circle here. I put this down first, and then I put my circle on top, and then I laid my 2 placeholders for my photos on top. Now, you don't have to do that, because if you know you don't have your photos printed and they're not quite 4x6, you could finish this part with these when you have your photos there. You could also use 3x4s this way. That would work. Ollie out. And then I cut some of those butterflies here with the die from that You Are Enough. And that's what I use there. This little sticker here from the sticker sheet is powdered and pop dotted. I pop tape over it, and I kind of overlapped it a little onto that page. And then this here is right onto the page. This is also a sticker, Special Day. And then I did these afterwards on the ends, like that. And what else do I do? Oh, and then if you look close, I have put in some little blings in the centers of some of the little circles. I kind of picked a few. I did 3. I did a bitty bling there, a regular and a regular there, but it depends on how your paper lays. I used the centers. I did the centers. Actually, there's one under there too, and there's one little tiny one over here. But I used the centers of the circles to put my little tiny blings in. So that's your left page. Your right page is this here. And like I said, this was a 3x10 inch piece with the corners rounded. This circle is your other one that I used. First I put this down. This is a PML card, and again I rounded 2 of the corners so you could have a place for your journaling, and it kind of matched with the paper except it had the dark background. I thought that was kind of fun. It kind of looks like it's just kind of all goes together, like my little circles kind of are cohesive. They kind of just wander down the page, which I kind of liked a lot. And then I thought this was kind of too plain, so I put a couple more of those butterflies. So remember your 3s and 5s. I used 5 butterflies. And then my circles, this one here is from your sticker sheet. This one is raised. I put some pop stuff underneath that one. That's a sticker from the sticker sheet. This here is a sticker from the sticker sheet, as is this piece down here. And you can see I've used more bling on this page than I used on the other page because I had more of the centers of the circles showing. Now, to place this, obviously I put these 4x6s right up on this side here, and then I just, centered. There's an inch here and an inch here, and I centered that against that edge, and then I put this over there, and then this is on top of those 2 things, and then this is on top of there, and this is kind of on the edge of that, and over here. I wanted it to be kind of, I wanted it to look like it was all one kind of piece, but yet you had to kind of combine them so they kind of flowed down the page, which I kind of liked that effect. So that's how you use a page map. Now, in my page map, you'll see they actually used a strip here. And over here, they had another photo. I felt like 5 photos is pretty darn good on a page. And actually, you could get more if you use 3x4s. If you want to use 2 3x4s here, you could do that. If your photos are smaller and you want to use photo mats, certainly pick a color out of the paper. I think this Sundance color would be awesome with this to make a photo mat, depending on what your pictures look like. Like if you had some nice sunset sunrise photos from the winter time, this Sundance color would look really great matting those if you have some nice oranges in them, or pinks. There's a lot of nice pinks in the sunsets this time of the year. So anyway, so here is, they did these there. You could certainly do that on these pages. Like instead of my little things here, they used a scalloped border. You could certainly use that. There is not one on your sticker sheet, So I kind of stuck to the sticker sheet, and I used those. I didn't use them all, but I used those little banners, and I used these circles and those two things and that little word thing up here. So I still have a lot of stickers left to use. I have actually completed, no, I haven't used this paper pack up yet. I only did this one layout with it and a card. So I'll show you the card that I did, and I will give you the particulars about the card for this month. So I decided, since I watched a video about how people were using their PML cards for their, I want you to be able to see that the lettering on there, it's very light, it's this Carolina ink. They were using PML cards to make the fronts of their cards, and I said, why not? It's a great idea. We've got a lot of them. This was just like a clipboard one, and so it had this centerpiece, and I said, I'm going to get out that little dandelion stamp I have, and I love that Dandelion Wishes stamp, and I haven't used it much, so I decided, well, it's dark enough here, so if I use a lighter ink, I can just stamp, and no one's going to see it on the dark part there. So it's a PML card, and I stamped the dandelion. I put some of those little flyaway ones in and just stamped right over it with birthday wishes. I think I may have second generation stamped that, so it would be lighter than this because this is full strength. Now, before I did that, though, I rounded my corners on the PML card, and I made a little strip that is 1.5 inches by 5.5. I used a 5.5 inch card, but again, if you do the bigger cards, same principle. Just make this a little wider and this a little wider. On this side, I used a piece that was 2 3/4 by 5.5 this way, and simple. I ran this through an embossing folder, and if you can see here, I've done a little sanding on the embossing folder, but any embossing folder would work depending on your card. You could simply do a floral one, a leaf one, whatever, and then do leaves in there. There's a lot of possibilities. And like I said, the card is very simple, but it's very straightforward, and you could easily reproduce it and make a whole gift set with different PML cards from the same pack. So I hope you've enjoyed my first debut performance here with the cards. I do have a few layouts to show you that I've made with the Wonderland paper pack. I've got my little friend back again. He's persistent. He likes to help me. I used this Julie Carriere workshop that I'll be willing to share with some of my folks that did do the VIP thing. And the layouts that I made with that are like this. I loved the colors. I will say that a lot of it, I have the Cricut cut from this workshop, so if you don't have a Cricut, you will have to improvise somehow with getting some of the shapes, like all these snowflakes and swirls were from that. But if you have other things you could use, you're more than welcome to use them. If you have snowflake stickers, dies, punches, that's the first one. Here's the second one. And we also use those fun Dina Wakley sprays to do the background. I used the white one here. And a little tip about using these: when you use them, and if you're spraying them, you need to clean the inside part. And how you do that is you take your piece out, like here, you know, this little piece, and you squirt it with water till it comes clear. Use another bottle or a dish and just squirt out the water till it comes clear, and wipe off the nozzle good with a paper towel so that it doesn't get plugged. People have had trouble with them getting plugged, but I do love the look of the spray here. If you can see, it was on one of the gray colors, I believe, that I sprayed. And then the sticker sheets, I've used the sticker sheets here. And this, all the titles were with sticker sheets. I used the PML card here. I think this had 3 photos. That was one. And this one kind of is, I think it'll straighten out when I put it in my photo protector, or my page protector. I used some of the glitter gel stuff, and I kind of rubbed it on with some ink. And I don't know that I love it, but it's something different. It kind of wrinkled my paper a little bit. But again, I used my PML cards to make tags. I cut them with my tag maker, or with my tag die. So that's what I did there. And I also did that over here on this one, I think. Right here, I used a PML card to make a tag. I thought that was a clever idea to use those PML cards up. And then this one, I can't remember how I got this idea. This was not part of that workshop. There was only 3 2-page layouts, but I love the colors in this one, and I used embossing, and I used the little snowflakes that you can get that you're supposed to use in the, and I used a stamp set that came with this set too, I think, to get the swirls. No, this was a swirl stamp set that we have that I used on this one. And then here they made the little snow globe, and I backed it with the pearl paper. It kind of looks fun, and I love the little sled with the reindeer and Santa. And then I used again, I stamped here and used some of the little silver speckly dot blings. And then I used a little silver twine here to make a little bow. And that was it. So I used up this whole paper pack, Wonderland. That was last month's paper pack. So I did use the whole paper pack on the layouts for that. And I used most of my stickers too. So that's an idea for you guys to do. And I will share details about that at another time. So I hope you've enjoyed the new way of doing things. I know many of you have put your orders in already, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for taking the leap of faith and going to become a VIP. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month.